Greetings, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 20 of albums that are 40 years old in 2022 as we look back on 1982. 28 days of February. We're listing our 28 favorite albums released in 1982. Each and every morning, I'm going to give you my pick, and I'm going to ask you to do the same in the comments below. So today, we've got an album released April of that year. Their sixth album from this band, produced by Roger Glover for the Mercury Polydor label, talking about Straight Between the Eyes. From Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, all right, or just Rainbow here, right? They had taken the Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow title off the albums after the first album, so it was just known as Rainbow at this point. Of course, this is once again the beginning of another different lineup of the band. Pretty much the same guys with the exception of the keyboard slot. So we got Blackmore on guitar, Roger Glover on bass and producing. You've got Joe Lynn Turner on vocals, right, coming back for his second album with the band. Bobby Rondinelli on drums, his second album with the band. And new keyboard player replacing Don Airey, David Rosenthal. Okay. So, for me, this particular album, of course, we got the Hypnosis album cover. Pretty cool, right? I always kind of like that. Looked great on a t-shirt. I remember seeing the band on this tour with the Scorpions opening up at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Bought a shirt out in the parking lot. Of course, had the, in fact, it was one of those, remember those old jersey shirts right back in the 80s? You had it was like a white shirt with this on the front, and then it had the black sleeves, right, that only came up like 3/4, right? So I had that for many years. Actually, no, they were blue sleeves. They were like navy blue sleeves. So the white shirt with Straight Between the Eyes on the front. I don't remember what was on the back. I think it was a picture of the band, if I'm not mistaken. And the sleeves were like kind of like a, like a navy blue. And I wore that constantly for years. And I remember being at college in the latter part of the 80s, and I remember at some point the sleeves got really faded, so I cut the sleeves off here, and I just had wore it as a cutoff thing, and then the right here where I made the cut got really frayed, and the picture of the album got really really faded from washing it so much in the front, and the shirt just basically fell apart. It looked awful. And I had to throw it out, right? And I remember all these years later, I was always like, man, I really miss that Straight Between the Eyes shirt, right? So of course I had to buy a more recent one of it. So I have a nice black one, right? That probably should have worn for this episode, right? Whatever. I could go dig it out. So anyway, back to the album. Hypnosis album cover art. Personally, of the three albums fronted by Joe Lynn Turner, this one's easily my favorite. I like this one a lot. Death Alley Driver is a great, great hard-charging opening track. I did a video for that as well, which is pretty cool. It was also released as a single. Not really single material for me, if you ask me. It's, it's my favorite song on the album, but I wouldn't call it a single. It's not really a radio type hit. Stone Cold, however, is the radio hit from here. Stone Cold was played all the time on FM rock radio up in my neck of the woods here in New York, and it's a really cool song with a really great Blackmore guitar solo. I also love the Blackmore guitar solo on Death Alley Driver. Then you got Bring On the Night, Dream Chaser, good melodic hard driving song. You got Tight Squeeze, more of kind of like a funky mid-paced groove. Kind of different for this album, right? But I like it. It's a good song. Tearing Out My Heart is the kind of the ballad, but it's got lots of power, lots of drama, good guitar solo, great vocal from Joe Lynn Turner. Power, which kicks off side 2 of the LP. Power has got big riffs. It's big and bright, hard rocking, but definitely got this kind of Foreigner type thing. Because of course that's what Blackmore was into at the time. Blackmore wanted Rainbow to be the next Foreigner. That didn't quite happen, although they had a bit of success with these albums, but not Foreigner level success. Mistreated, okay, really good driving hard rock song. I like that quite a bit. Then you got Rock Fever, another good up-tempo rocker, not one of my favorite songs on the album. And then Eyes of Fire. Eyes of Fire is terrific. Eyes of Fire is like the Gates of Babylon for this album, right? Eyes of Fire's got all this great guitar soloing and mystical Middle Eastern type stuff going on. A really good vocal from Joe. Excellent song. Good keyboards on that as well. David Rosenthal, a really good player, by the way. Later went on to play with Billy Joel. He played with Happy the Man, the prog band, for quite a while too. So yeah, this is a really good album, really strong album. It's funny because looking back, I think back when I was younger, I like this album a lot more back then than I do now, even though now I really still like it a lot. Maybe it's because I played this to death over the years. I find that when it comes to Rainbow, I don't reach for the Joe Lynn Turner era stuff as much as I used to, because I was big into I love the Dio era, of course. Who doesn't? But I think like over the years, I tend to reach more for those first three albums with Dio than I do with the three albums with Joe Lynn, but I still like them a lot. I still really dig this album. I still, can listen to it now and be like, yeah, it's just as good as I remember it. I just don't reach for it as often anymore, but I still, in my mind, I still know how much I appreciate and love the songs on here. I just don't feel the need to listen to them as much anymore. But it's ranking pretty high on my list, obviously, because I do, really dig this album quite a bit, and I think it's pretty much a masterpiece by them. So so there you have it. Straight Between the Eyes from Rainbow is my selection for day 20 here. We've got, it's day 20. Day 28, not a lot left, right? So we're hard charging through the month here. So let us know what you think of Straight Between the Eyes in the comments below, but list your pick for day 20. That's the important thing. Down in the comments. And thanks for watching, and visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned. Coming up just in a little bit, we've got album homework assignment. Steve Feigenbaum from Wayside Records, Cuneiform Records, going up against Ken Golden of the Laser's Edge. The good buddies are going head to head. They've each given each other their assignments, and you're going to hear what they have to think about them. So that's coming up just in a little while, so stay tuned for album homework assignment. And then, of course, we start the week all over tomorrow with the Hudson Valley Squares, and back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with another album that turns 40 years old in 2022. So see you all then. I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.